From the hardwood to the history books, the NBA has seen some of the most electrifying athletes the world has ever known. Welcome to the ultimate ranking of the 50 best NBA players of all time. 1. Michael Jordan. Career averages: 30.1 points, 6.2 rebounds, 5.3 assists. 5 MVP awards. Selected to the All-NBA First Team 10 times. Selected to the All-NBA Second Team 1 time. Selected to play in the NBA All-Star Game 14 times. 6 championships. The greatest player ever to lace a pair of basketball shoes is none other than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. The 6'6" legend took the league by storm the moment he set foot on an NBA hardwood. When the lanky but athletic young shooting guard started his career, Jordan was thought of more as a scoring machine, even though he was an excellent defender and a willing passer. It wasn't until he won his first championship that he was taken seriously as one of the greatest players in the game. 6 championships later, with no loss in the finals, Jordan sits atop the discussion of the greatest player debate. The 5-time MVP was an assassin on the court, taking down opponents of all shapes and sizes. No one was safe from Jordan's competitive fire as he extinguished all comers on his way to winning 6 finals MVPs to go along with his 6 rings. Jordan owns numerous awards and records, most of which continue to endure to this day. Jordan is both the leader in scoring titles, as well as tied for times on the All-Defensive First Team, showing just how dominant he truly was. Aside from the championships, Jordan is well known for hitting one clutch shot after another, culminating in a number of game winners and buzzer beaters that are the stuff of legend. What is especially incredible about Jordan's legendary status is that none of this is made up. He lives up to the hype and the mystique. None of it is a product of the imagination. That's why if there is anyone who deserves to be at the top of the greatest players list, it's Jordan. 2. LeBron James. Career averages: 27.1 points, 7.5 rebounds, 7.4 assists. 4 MVP awards. Selected to the All-NBA First Team 13 times. Selected to the All-NBA Second Team 3 times. Selected to the All-NBA Third Team 4 times. Selected to play in the NBA All-Star Game 20 times. 4 championships. The first pick of the 2003 NBA Draft straight out of high school as a 4-time MVP and a perennial All-Star. He's the first player to reach 30,000 points, 8,000 rebounds, and 8,000 assists, and he is on pace to reach the unfathomable 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, and 10,000 assists. When James finally pioneers the exclusive 40K and 10K club, we may not see anyone else join him for the next 50 years or so. The greatest of all time debate is discussed by the media every season because of James's nightly exploits. In fact, never has this discussion become as prevalent as these last few years after he claimed that elusive championship in 2012. Since then, he has been working his way up the greatest of all time ladder, passing other players in the discussion, such as Bird, Magic Johnson, Russell, Abdul-Jabbar, and Chamberlain. Getting knocked out of the first round of the 2024 NBA playoffs didn't help his argument. Now, James will become the first NBA player to play alongside his son, as Bronny James is now a member of the Lakers. 3. Kobe Bryant. Career averages: 25.0 points, 5.2 rebounds, 4.7 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA. 11 times First Team, 2 times Second Team, 2 times Third Team. All-Star. 18 times. 5 championships. Some say he's the greatest Laker of all time, and after playing incredibly great for 20 years, Kobe Bryant deserves to at least be part of the argument. He entered the league as a teenager who could barely contain his excitement to be playing hoops as a career. Basketball was the perfect outlet for the young man's competitive nature, and he'll forever be missed by the NBA community and our world as a whole after his tragic death. Bryant accomplished what most NBA players can only dream of. He won the slam dunk contest as a rookie and was a member of the All-Rookie team. In only his second season, Bryant became an All-Star, the first of 18 such selections. Soon, he would win 3 straight titles along with fellow superstar O'Neal. When the two parted ways, Bryant waited a few more seasons before he won 2 more championships, one more than his former teammate. One of the elite scorers in NBA history, The Black Mamba is fourth in all-time career scoring with 33,643 points. He won his only MVP award in 2008, but it can be argued that he was robbed from a couple more. He was also the Finals MVP twice in 2009 and 2010. Bryant won the All-Star Game MVP a record 4 times, tied with Bob Pettit, with one of them as co-winner with O'Neal. 4. Larry Bird. Career averages: 24.3 points, 10.0 rebounds, 6.3 assists. 3 MVP awards. All-NBA, 9 times first team, 1 time second team. All-Star, 12 times. 3 championships. If you want to show a kid how to play basketball, you show him Larry Bird. Looking at the 6'9" forward, you would never think that he could play in the NBA, but boy oh boy could he play. The Celtics legend is one of the most revered players to this day because of his intelligence, competitiveness, and all-around ability to do just about anything on the court. Bird overwhelms you with his cockiness, smarts, supreme confidence, and ability to get off his shots with regularity. No 33 won 3 straight MVP awards, the only player since the 1960s to accomplish that feat. He revitalized the struggling Celtics in the 1980s and brought back the glory days of the 1960s when Boston ruled the NBA. During his playing days, he added 3 championship banners to the rafters of the old Boston Garden and brought in legions of fans from the NCAA to the NBA along with Magic Johnson, his chief rival and now close friend. Bird is most known for his incredible shooting, as he won the first 3 three-point contests and was hitting three-pointers before it was cool. As good of a shooter as he was arguably an even better passer. His vision and passing touch was special, and it was enhanced by the fact that he was tall enough to see over defenders. 5. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Career averages: 24.6 points, 11.2 rebounds, 3.6 assists. 6 MVP awards. All-NBA, 10 times first team, 5 times second team. All-Star, 19 times. 6 championships. No one has eclipsed Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's 6 MVP awards, and that's for a good reason. His excellence extends over 2 decades, winning 6 championships along the way. Before being part of the Lakers' Showtime, Jabbar had already won a championship ring with the Milwaukee Bucks in 1971. His 38,837 career points once seemed like a record that would never be broken. While the number was surpassed by LeBron James, Abdul-Jabbar still has over 1,000 more than the third leading scorer. It is impossible to talk about Kareem without talking about the skyhook. His signature move is one of the most enduring images in NBA history and one that is likely never going to be replicated. The shot was nearly unguardable. 6. Stephen Curry. Career averages: 24.8 points, 4.7 rebounds, 6.4 assists. 2 MVP awards. All-NBA, 4 times first team, 4 times second team, 2 times third team. All-Star, 10 times. 4 championships. The only unanimous MVP in league annals, Stephen Curry is the greatest shooter to ever walk the hardwood floor. With the 6-foot three-point guard around, no part of the court is a safe zone for defenders because he can make a shot from virtually every area of the court. His three-point records are likely going to stand for a long, long time. Curry currently owns 4 championships and 2 MVPs with the Golden State Warriors. He is much more than just a shooter, however. Curry is one of the best ball handlers and paint finishers for a guard ever. No one has ever revolutionized the game of basketball as much as Steph Curry. 7. Magic Johnson. Career averages: 19.5 points, 7.2 rebounds, 11.2 assists. 3 MVP awards. All-NBA, 9 times first team, 1 times second team. All-Star, 12 times. 5 championships. The Lakers would not have had Showtime in the 1980s without Earvin "Magic" Johnson. Magic was perfect for LA and Hollywood with his trademark smile and passion for the game. His Finals MVP as a rookie is perhaps his single greatest accomplishment after he replaced the injured Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Game 6. He started the game at center and played all 5 positions by the time the game was over, recording 42 points, 15 rebounds and 7 assists. His near-annual battles with Bird for the championship drove the league to heights of popularity it had never known before. His 5 championships cemented him as one of the greatest players to play the game. At 6'9", Johnson was the biggest point guard that had ever graced the basketball court until the Sixers' Ben Simmons came along. The Lakers' playmaker ran the offense with a love for the game that was rarely seen, and he orchestrated Showtime to perfection on the way to 5 championships in 9 finals appearances. Johnson retired from the game prematurely in 1991 at 32 years old after contracting HIV. Who knows how much more he could have accomplished had he played 5 or more seasons. 8. Wilt Chamberlain. Career averages: 30.1 points, 22.9 rebounds, 4.4 assists. 4 MVP awards. All-NBA. 7 times First Team, 3 times Second Team. All-Star. 13 times. 2 championships. Wilt Chamberlain was a larger-than-life figure who was one of the most difficult to rank in an all-time greatest list. The stilt suffered from the perception that he wasn't as good as advertised, when time and time again, his teams would be eliminated by Russell's Celtics. But can you imagine how many rings Chamberlain would have owned if he and Russell had not played simultaneously? The 7-footer changed the game as the NBA decided to widen the lane to limit his dominance over smaller players. He was the second real giant, after Mikan, on the hardwood, and it was only the Celtics who truly humbled the league's unstoppable mythical figure with the defensive prowess of Russell, their own immovable object. Despite the setbacks in the playoffs, Chamberlain owns records that will likely never be broken, such as his 100-point performance against the New York Knicks and the 55 rebounds he grabbed in a game against the Celtics. There was a season in which Chamberlain never left a basketball game to rest, averaging 48.5 minutes a game. That shows us that he was merely toying with the league through his massive size and talent. Before Jordan tied him, Chamberlain held the record for the most consecutive seasons leading the league in scoring with 7. Perhaps his greatest accomplishment was when he led the league in total assists in the 1968 season, averaging a career-high 8.6 assists per game. There was nothing he couldn't do on the hardwood as long as he set his mind to do it. 9. Kevin Durant. Career averages: 27.3 points, 7.0 rebounds, 4.4 assists. 1 MVP awards. All-NBA. 6 times First Team, 5 times Second Team. All-Star. 14 times. 2 championships. Kevin Durant is already arguably the most unstoppable scorer ever behind Michael Jordan, and he is climbing the rankings of the greatest overall players in NBA history. With an MVP and 2 championships, the Durantula is as tall as a center at 7 feet with the skills of a shooting guard, playing the small forward position and defending the paint like a power forward. With tons of talent around him currently on the Phoenix Suns, he has a chance of collecting even more accolades, although 2024 was a disappointment after being swept out of the first round of the playoffs. 10. Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal. Career averages: 23.7 points, 10.9 rebounds, 2.5 assists. MVP awards: 1. All-NBA. 8 times First Team, 2 times Second Team, 4 times Third Team. All-Star. 15 times. 4 championships. An immovable object down low, Shaquille O'Neal is one of the most mobile big men in NBA history. At 7'1" and more than 300 pounds, O'Neal dominated the paint with his unusual combination of strength, skill and speed. O'Neal nabbed the Rookie of the Year award in 1992, and he never looked back. After only 4 years in the league, O'Neal carried the Orlando Magic franchise, an expansion team in 1989, to the 1995 NBA Finals. In 1996, O'Neal left the Magic to join the Lakers, where he would eventually team with coach Phil Jackson and fellow superstar Bryant to form one of the greatest trios in league history. They soon won 3 titles in a row from 2000 to 2002. O'Neal changed teams again in 2004, this time with the Heat, who had up-and-coming superstar Wade on its roster. The two teamed up to give the franchise its first-ever championship in 2006 as he won his 4th championship in 7 years. O'Neal is one of only 3 players to win the regular season MVP, All-Star Game MVP, and Finals MVP awards in the same season, 1999-2000. The Diesel led the league in scoring twice, 1994-95, 1999-2000, and is currently 8th in all-time scoring. 11. Bill Russell. Career averages: 15.1 points, 22.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists. 5 MVP awards. All-NBA. 3 times first team, 8 times second team. All-Star. 12 times. 11 championships. 13 years, 11 championship rings, 10 fingers. That pretty much sums up the legacy of Bill Russell, the man who owns the most championship rings in the game's storied history. Russell's philosophy was all about winning titles because, according to him, there were no politics when it came to winning. The individual accolades came anyway, as he won 5 MVP awards. If there was a Defensive Player of the Year award back in the 1960s, Russell would have won it every year that it was handed out. He ignited the Celtics' vaunted fast break with his defense. Though he would battle Wilt Chamberlain as the most dominant big man in the game, the 6'10" center wasn't the scorer that his contemporary was. His focus was on taking care of the paint and making sure that everyone was involved in the offense. There are those who regard Russell as the greatest player in the game because of his unprecedented 11 titles. No matter who was on the floor with him, Boston found a way to win, regardless. When the playoffs came, his teammates knew that they could win any ballgame or series because of his mere presence. The Celtics also won 8 straight titles under Russell's leadership, still the longest current championship streak ever. He not only led by example but by his words as well. For 3 seasons 1966-67, 1967-68, and 1968-69, he was the team's playing coach, guiding the team to championships during those last 2 years. Is he the greatest? If winning was the basis, then Russell wins that argument, hands down. 12. Tim Duncan. Career averages. 19.0 points, 10.8 rebounds, 3.0 assists. 2 MVP awards. All-NBA. 10 times first team, 3 times second team, 2 times third team. All-Star. 15 times. 5 championships. Tim Duncan was big enough and strong enough to play center in the NBA as he did in college, but David Robinson was the incumbent at the position, so he played power forward instead in a Twin Towers combo that's practically unmatched in league history. Because of that positional change, Duncan became arguably the greatest power forward to play basketball. Don't let his unassuming demeanor fool you. Duncan is as competitive as any player in the league. He's a 15-time All-Star, a 2-time MVP, a 5-time NBA champion and a 3-time Finals MVP. And that's just for starters. He is the only player in league annals to be selected to both the All-NBA and All-Defensive teams in each of his first 13 seasons. In Game 6 of the 2003 Finals, Duncan nearly recorded a quadruple-double when he accumulated 21 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists and 8 blocks. It would have been the first quadruple-double in the postseason and the first and only in the Finals. His 32 blocks in the series is a record for the Finals and for a 6-game playoff series. Such was the omnipresence of the Wake Forest graduate on the court. Most of all, Duncan will be remembered as a gentleman and a great human being. He was a humble leader, encouraging teammate and a good friend to those who had the privilege of playing with him. 13. Hakeem Olajuwon. Career averages. 21.8 points, 11.1 rebounds, 2.5 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA. 6 times first team, 3 times second team, 3 times third team. All-Star. 12 times. 2 championships. Perhaps the most fluid big man ever, Hakeem Olajuwon was a man of 1,000 moves in the low post. The Dream Shake is ballet-like in its beauty and grace, leaving opponents scratching their heads in amazement and embarrassment. Amazingly, Olajuwon combined this with being a premier shot blocker and one of the best defensive players ever. Though Olajuwon won only 2 championships, the way he dismantled premier centers such as David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, and Shaquille O'Neal on his way to those titles propelled him to the top of the elite big men of his day. 14. Jerry West. Career averages. 27.0 points, 5.8 rebounds, 6.7 assists. All-NBA. 10 times first team, 2 times second team. All-Star. 14 times. 1 championship. Jerry West was the best shooting guard during his playing days. To this day, the logo is one of the most revered players of all time. No one has won the Finals MVP trophy in a losing cause, and he did it in the 1969 finals by averaging 37.9 points in the series, including a triple-double in Game 7 with 42 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists. Had it not been for Russell's Celtics, West would have won multiple championships. 15. Moses Malone. Career averages: 20.6 points, 12.2 rebounds, 1.4 assists. 3 MVP awards. All-NBA, 4 times First Team, 4 times Second Team. All-Star, 12 times. 1 championship. Few centers can match Moses Malone's accomplishments at the professional level despite coming directly from high school. Malone knows what it takes to win individually and with a team. Arguably the most forgotten NBA legend, he is a 3-time MVP, 6-time rebounding champion, was named to 8 All-NBA teams and won a championship in 1983. When Julius Erving simply could not win a title with the Sixers, the addition of the 6'10" center was the final piece that gave drive. His highly coveted championship ring, and it was Malone who took home the Finals MVP award. 16. Karl Malone. Career averages: 25.0 points, 10.1 rebounds, 3.6 assists. 2 MVP awards. All-NBA, 11 times First Team, 2 times Second Team, 1 time Third Team. All-Star, 14 times. No one worked harder on those 1980s and 1990s Utah Jazz teams than Karl Malone. The mailman delivered day in and day out, hardly missing any time on the court during his illustrious 19-year NBA career. Malone is third all-time behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and, recently, LeBron James in career scoring. He scored 36,928 points in his career and is also 7th in career rebounds with 14,968. Had it not been for a certain number 23, there's no doubt that Malone would have won a championship or two before he retired. 17. Isaiah Thomas. Career averages: 19.2 points, 3.6 rebounds, 9.3 assists. All-NBA, 3 times First Team, 2 times Second Team. All-Star, 12 times. 2 championships. The Detroit Pistons bad boys were ride or die for the littlest guy on their roster, Isaiah Thomas. No matter his size, Thomas was the heart and soul of the rough and tough Pistons who pummeled anyone on their way to winning back-to-back championships from 1988-89 to the 1989-90 seasons. One would be hard-pressed to find another player with Zeke's combination of handles, scoring ability, and passing acumen, along with his feistiness. He should have been on the original Dream Team in 1992 but wasn't included due to a conflict with some members of the team. Even Jordan, someone who didn't like him, has called him the second best point guard ever. 18. Oscar Robertson. Career averages: 25.7 points, 7.5 rebounds, 9.5 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA, 9 times First Team, 2 times Second Team. All-Star, 12 times. 1 championship. For years, no one knew what a triple-double was. That was until Robertson popularized the stat while displaying his incredible versatility. His 5-year triple-double average is one of the most insane statistics in league history. When Robertson was paired with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the Milwaukee Bucks, it gave fans one of the greatest superstar duos ever. 19. David Robinson. Career averages: 21.1 points, 10.6 rebounds, 2.5 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA, 4 times First Team, 2 times Second Team, 4 times Third Team. All-Star, 10 times. 2 championships. In the unofficial golden age of centers, in the 90s, David Robinson was one of the best of that era. He became the foundation of today's San Antonio Spurs with his class act and unselfish play on the court. He only won 1 MVP award even though there were at least 2 other instances when he could have won it. When Tim Duncan arrived in 1997, Robinson gracefully let his frontcourt partner get all the limelight while he focused on defense and rebounding. It resulted in the Spurs winning championships in 1999 and 2003, after which he retired as one of the greatest big men ever. 20. Dwayne Wade. Career averages: 22.0 points, 4.7 rebounds, 5.4 assists. All-NBA, 2 times First Team, 3 times Second Team, 3 times Third Team. All-Star. 13 times. 3 championships. Even as an undersized shooting guard, Dwayne Wade played big, especially in the biggest stages. In just his third season, Wade led the Heat to the 2006 title versus the Dallas Mavericks after going down 2-0 in the finals. He was unstoppable and showed everyone that he was the league's next great slashing superstar. Wade went on to have a long and successful career, predominantly with the Heat, that saw him even form one of the greatest teams ever when LeBron James and Chris Bosh joined him to make a Big Three super team. 21. Elgin Baylor. Career averages: 27.4 points, 13.5 rebounds, 4.3 assists. All-NBA, 10 times first team. All-Star, 11 times. The forefather of today's high flyers, Elgin Baylor wowed fans with his nightly forays to the hoop. He is also one of the highest scoring small forwards in the game and the best rebounder of the lot, with 13.5 rebounds per game. Despite retiring prematurely 9 games into the 1971-72 season and thereby missing out on winning a title, the Lakers fittingly gave him a championship ring since he played in 9 games. 22. Julius Erving. Career averages: 22.0 points, 6.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA, 5 times first team, 2 times second team. All-Star, 11 times. 1-time champion. The greatest gift that the ABA gave to the NBA is none other than Julius Erving. With his long arms, big hands, huge afro, and high-flying act, drive, Jay was one of the most entertaining and unstoppable forces in the game. If he had played his entire career in the NBA, he would have ranked higher on this list. He's a 2-time ABA champion, 3-time ABA MVP, 5-time ABA All-Star, and he scored 11,662 points in the ABA's short existence. As it is, he accomplished quite a lot in his 11-year NBA career. 23. Nikola Jokic. Career averages: 20.9 points, 10.7 rebounds, 6.9 assists. 3 MVP awards. All-NBA, 4 times first team, 2 times second team. All-Star, 6 times. 1-time champion. Arguably the best player currently in the NBA, Nikola Jokic is skyrocketing up the all-time list. His championship in the 2023 season was enough to justify his place in the top 50, and his third MVP season last year cemented his spot in the top 25. Jokic's prime is nearly unmatched. His career pairs only second to Michael Jordan, and Jokic seems set up to continue piling onto the record books. The Joker is the best passing big man ever, but he can also get a bucket whenever he wants because of his incredible shooting touch around the rim. 24. Charles Barkley. Career averages: 22.1 points, 11.7 rebounds, 3.9 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA, 5 times first team, 5 times second team, 1 time third team. All-Star, 11 times. Charles Barkley is one of the most skilled power forwards to play the game. After Chuck Daly coached the round mound of rebound on the Dream Team in 1992, he believed that Barkley was the best player on the roster that included basketball luminaries such as Magic Johnson, Larry Bird and Michael Jordan. That's a very high praise from a respected coach. Despite his lack of height, listed at 6'6" while playing the power forward position, he led the league in rebounds in 1987. His lack of championship success is the only thing holding him back from being higher on this list. 25. Dirk Nowitzki. Career averages: 20.7 points, 7.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA, 4 times first team, 5 times second team, 3 times third team. All-Star, 14 times. 1-time champion. He has the most unstoppable fadeaway jumper off a one leg in league history. Dirk Nowitzki won a championship in 2011 while he was at the peak of his powers. Nowitzki climbed up the charts in career all-time scoring, all the way to 6th place with 31,560 points. He owns an MVP, a Finals MVP, and a championship ring. He's a 14-time All-Star and a 12-time All-NBA team member. He is considered one of the best international players we've ever seen grace the hardwood. Scratch that. He's one of the best we've seen, period. 26. Kevin Garnett. Career averages: 17.8 points, 10.0 rebounds, 3.7 assists. MVP awards: 1. All-NBA, 4 times first team, 3 times second team, 2 times third team. All-Star, 15 times. One-time champion. Kevin Garnett is the only player to average at least 20 points, 10 rebounds and 5 assists for 6 consecutive seasons, breaking Bird's mark of 5 consecutive. A leader on the court as well as off it, Garnett is the greatest player in Minnesota Timberwolves history. After he was traded to Boston, Garnett anchored the Celtics' stingy defense and let Paul Pierce and Ray Allen take care of the scoring. He won a championship ring after Boston won its 17th title in 2008. 27. John Stockton. Career averages: 13.1 points, 2.7 rebounds, 10.5 assists. All-NBA, 2 times first team, 6 times second team, 3 times third team. All-Star, 10 times. The greatest passer in NBA history by a mile, John Stockton could have been a 20-point scorer but chose to distribute the ball to his teammates instead, predominantly to Karl Malone. His 15,806 career assists are 3,715 more than second-place Jason Kidd's total. Stockton is also the NBA's career leader in steals, 3,265, and one of the most durable players in the game, playing all 82 games of a season 16 times in his illustrious 19-year career. 28. Bob Pettit. Career averages: 26.4 points, 16.2 rebounds, 3.0 assists. 2 MVP awards. All-NBA, 10 times first team, 1 time second team. All-Star, 11 times. 1 championship. One of the game's earliest superstar forwards, Bob Pettit won a championship before the Celtics started to hoard them in the late 50s and 60s. He was a force to be reckoned with and carried the St. Louis Hawks to a championship in 1958. Pettit had a spectacular game with 50 points in Game 6 of the finals, clinching the series with a 110-109 victory. 29. John Havlicek. Career averages: 20.8 points, 6.3 rebounds, 4.8 assists. All-NBA, 4 times first team, 7 times second team. All-Star, 13 times. 8 times champion. Some people may find it hard to believe, but there are a handful of players with more championships than Jordan, who had 6 in his stellar career. John Hondo Havlicek is one of them. After Bill Russell retired, Havlicek carried the Celtics to a couple of titles and earned his place among the game's elite. No one has scored more points in a Celtics uniform than Havlicek, and that includes the great Larry Bird. 30. Scottie Pippen. Career averages: 16.1 points, 6.4 rebounds, 5.2 assists. All-NBA, 3 times first team, 2 times second team, 2 times third team. All-Star, 7 times. 6 championships. No one played a better complementary role to a bigger star than Scottie Pippen. He grew and blossomed in Jordan's shadow and was the most versatile player in the game during his time in Chicago. In the 1993-94 season, when Jordan first retired, Pippen led the Bulls to a 55-25 record, won the All-Star Game MVP award, and was a regular season MVP candidate, finishing third in the voting behind Houston's Hakeem Olajuwon and San Antonio's David Robinson. Pippen was the creator on offense, allowing the Bulls' point guards to be specialists, specifically shooters. And though he was a very good offensive player, Pippen's calling card was his defense. He was a 10-time All-Defensive Team member, often guarding the opponent's best player. 31. Chris Paul. Career averages: 17.5 points, 4.5 rebounds, 9.4 assists. All-NBA, 4 times first team, 5 times second team, 2 times third team. All-Star, 12 times. Playmaking point guards are almost a dying breed, but the skill set lives on in Chris Paul. Paul is a throwback to a time when point guards sought to create for others first before they looked to score. He has led the league in assists 5 times in his career so far, but his scoring ability is not one to be taken lightly, as he averages nearly 18 points a game. This includes one of the most consistent mid-range shots we've ever seen. Paul is an excellent defender, leading the league in steals 6 times and accumulating 2,614 in total, good for third most in league history. 32. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Career averages: 23.4 points, 9.8 rebounds, 4.9 assists. 2 MVP awards. All-NBA. 6 times first team, 2 times second team. All-Star. 8 times. 1-time champion. Giannis Antetokounmpo looks like he was built in a lab. Despite standing at 7 feet tall, the Milwaukee Bucks star runs the floor like a gazelle. He is the most truly unstoppable player in the NBA right now. Still only 29 years old, Antetokounmpo seems destined to finish his career in the top 20 all-time, and he is sure to find more team success with Damian Lillard helping him form one of the best duos in the NBA. 33. Patrick Ewing. Career averages: 21.0 points, 9.8 rebounds, 1.9 assists. All-NBA. 1-time first team, 6 times second team. All-Star. 11 times. Patrick Ewing is one of the 10 best centers in NBA history. Ewing's career shouldn't be defined by his lack of championship rings and the fact that his Knicks team lost several times to Michael Jordan's Bulls. He's a warrior of the highest order and was the face of the franchise for more than a decade. Everyone should remember that he carried the Knicks franchise to the playoffs for 13 years, and that includes a finals appearance after years of mediocrity before he was drafted in 1985. He's an 11-time All-Star, a member of several All-NBA teams, and one of the great post scorers in league history. 34. Allen Iverson. Career averages: 26.7 points, 3.7 rebounds, 6.2 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA. 3 times first team, 3 times second team, 1 time third team. All-Star. 11 times. The answer was known in most NBA circles as, pound for pound the best player in the NBA, during his career. Generously listed at 6 feet tall, Allen Iverson attacked the basket with reckless abandon as if he was 8 inches taller. Despite his size, Iverson led the league in scoring 4 times, steals 3 times, and minutes played 7 times. No one ever did more with what he had than Iverson, who also added an MVP award to his resume. What more could anyone ask? 35. Russell Westbrook. Career averages: 21.7 points, 7.1 rebounds, 8.1 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA. 2 times first team, 5 times second team, 2 times third team. All-Star. 9 times. For 3 straight seasons, Russell Westbrook averaged a triple-double. That accomplishment alone is mind-boggling. Not only that, but during that time, Westbrook also had time to lead the league in scoring twice and assists 3 times. Westbrook's competitive fire is only matched by a few of his peers. He is relentless on the court, taking no prisoners as though his life was on the line every time he attacked the rim. At only 6'3", we could be witnessing one of the most uniquely special individuals to ever set foot on the court. He has a chance to win the championship that has eluded him now that he is on a talented Denver Nuggets roster. 36. Steve Nash. Career averages: 14.3 points, 3.0 rebounds, 8.5 assists. 2 MVP awards. All-NBA. 3 times first team, 2 times second team, 3 times third team. All-Star. 8 times. Only a handful of point guards have won MVP, and fewer still have won it more than once. Steve Nash won back-to-back Most Valuable Player awards after guiding the Phoenix Suns to 62-20 and 54-28 records. The year before Nash arrived, the Suns had a 29-53 record. Nash was one of the most lethal shooters in the game with a career 42.8% three-point shooting average and a 51.8% average from inside the arc. He also led the league in assists 5 times, including 3 straight from 2004-05 to 2006-07. Nash was an efficient point guard who led some of the best defenses that the league has ever seen. 37. Clyde Drexler. Career averages: 20.4 points, 6.1 rebounds, 5.6 assists. All-NBA. 1 time first team, 2 times second team, 2 times third team. All-Star. 10 times. 1 championships. Michael Jordan West was one of the ways people would describe Clyde, the Glide, Drexler. He didn't pattern his game after Jordan the same way Kobe Bryant did since Drexler came to the NBA ahead of his airness, but glide played above the stratosphere as well. His all-around game distinguished him and Jordan from other shooting guards. Starting his career with the Portland Trail Blazers and going to the finals twice with them, it wasn't until he was traded to the Houston Rockets in 1995 that he won a championship. For his career, the 10-time All-Star recorded more than 20,000 points, 6,000 rebounds, 6,000 assists and 2,000 steals. That's a testament to his complete game. 38. Bob Cousy. Career averages: 18.4 points, 5.2 rebounds, 7.5 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA. 10 times first team, 2 times second team. All-Star. 13 times. 6 times champion. As good as Bill Russell was, the one who held the keys to many of the Celtics' championships in the 1960s was Bob Cousy. Cousy led the league in assists for 8 straight years, a mark that has never been eclipsed. He won the 1957 MVP and won 6 championships with Russell. As a testament to his greatness and popularity, Cousy was named to 13 NBA All-Star games while playing 13 full seasons for the Celtics. His ball handling and passing skills were ahead of his time. 39. George Mikan. Career averaged him from scoring too easily. He powered his way to 23.1 points and 13.4 rebounds per game. His patented hook shot was the progenitor of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's more famous skyhook. 40. Kawhi Leonard. Career averages: 20 points, 6.4 rebounds, 3.0 assists. All-NBA. 3 times first team, 3 times second team. All-Star. 6 times. 2 times champion. Injuries may prevent Leonard from reaching his fullest potential when it comes to climbing up these rankings, but the Claw has still had a great career. He kept the San Antonio Spurs dynasty alive when the rest of their core was aging, and then he went to the Toronto Raptors and single-handedly turned them into champions. A 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, Leonard is one of the few true lockdown artists. Amazingly, Leonard has more steals than turnovers in his career. 41. Dominique Wilkins. Career averages: 24.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, 2.5 assists. All-NBA. 1 time first team, 4 times second team, 2 times third team. All-Star. 9 times. The human highlight reel not only had a cool nickname, but he had a game that truly warranted the moniker. Dominique Wilkins was one of the most gifted, creative, and ferocious dunkers on the court. Wilkins recorded 26,668 points for his career, 13th on the all-time scoring list. One of the few who was snubbed but truly deserved to be named one of the NBA's 50 greatest, Wilkins was an All-Star 9 times and an All-NBA selection 7 times. If only the Hawks didn't trade him in the 1993-94 season, he might have received a more favorable response from voters. 42. Walt Frazier. Career averages: 18.9 points, 5.9 rebounds, 6.1 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA. 4 times first team, 2 times second team. All-Star. 7 times. 2 championships. There wasn't a better point guard in the league when Walt Frazier was on the floor in the 70s. He was the Knicks' ringleader who gave them their only 2 championships in franchise history. Additionally, he exhibited coolness both on and off the court. To this day, Frazier is a legend in New York and is the epitome of Knicks greatness. The massive market team hasn't reached the same level of success since his retirement. 43. Jason Kidd. Career averages: 12.6 points, 6.3 rebounds, 8.7 assists. All-NBA. 5 times first team, 1 time second team. All-Star. 10 times. 1 time champion. Jason Kidd carried one of the most unusual teams to the finals when he led the New Jersey Nets to back-to-back NBA Finals appearances in 2002 and 2003. After joining the Nets in 2001, Kidd immediately turned the team's fortunes around. The team had a 26-game improvement from the previous year with a 52-30 record, the first 50-win season in the Nets franchise's history. That phenomenal turnaround alone should have earned the 6'4" point guard his first MVP award, but the voters chose Tim Duncan instead, a mistake that cost Kidd his best shot at the league's most prestigious individual award. Kidd led the league in assists 5 times, including 3 straight from 1998-99 to 2001. He was the ultimate team player, a point guard who didn't need to put up gaudy scoring numbers to help his team win. Kidd was one of the first great triple-double players, and he went down as one of the best passers ever. 44. James Harden. Career averages: 24.1 points, 5.6 rebounds, 7.1 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA. 6 times first team, 1 time third team. All-Star. 10 times. When James Harden scored 36.1 points per game in 2018-19, it gave him the most points in a single season for anyone not named Chamberlain or Jordan. Harden always finds unique ways to score, whether that was popularizing the step back or being an expert at drawing fouls. The guard will always be known for his scoring, but in the later years of his career, Harden has transformed into one of the best passers in the NBA. He not only finished top 3 in MVP voting 5 times in a 6-year span, but he led the league in scoring 3 times and assists twice. 45. Bob McAdoo. Career averages: 22.1 points, 9.4 rebounds, 2.3 assists. 1 MVP award. All-NBA. 1 time first team, 1 time second team. All-Star. 5 times. 2 championships. Curiously missing from the NBA's official 50th anniversary all-time team in 1996 was a certain former MVP named Bob McAdoo. It was a travesty to see McAdoo's accomplishments ignored when the league made its announcement in 1996. McAdoo was an unstoppable scorer during his heyday, winning the scoring title in 3 of his first 4 years in the league. He won the MVP in 1975 after averaging 34.5 points, 14.1 rebounds, and 2.12 blocks per contest. Later, McAdoo would win his 2 championship rings with the Los Angeles Lakers in 1982 and 1985 as a valuable player off the bench. 46. Elvin Hayes. Career averages: 21.0 points, 12.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists. All-NBA. 3 times first team, 3 times second team. All-Star. 12 times. 1 championship. Considered one of the best power forwards in the game, Elvin Hayes was both a scoring and rebounding machine. Not only was he unstoppable on offense, but he was also an excellent defender as well. Hayes was a member of the NBA's all-defensive second team in 1974 and 1975. He led the Washington Bullets to 3 NBA Finals appearances and won an NBA title against the Supersonics in 1978. He played in 12 All-Star games and led the league in scoring once and in rebounding twice. 47. Carmelo Anthony. Career averages: 22.5 points, 6.2 rebounds, 2.7 assists. All-NBA. 2 times second team, 4 times third team. All-Star. 10 times. Carmelo Anthony is one of the greatest scorers ever. Some people may not have Melo in their top 50, but he is by far the lowest-ranked player on this list to be in the top 10 in all-time scoring. Anthony was one of the toughest players to defend that the league has ever seen, and it led to 28,289 points. Although he never won an NBA championship, Anthony proved he was a winner in college and on Team USA. Those accolades don't matter for this list, but they are something to think about when people discredit Anthony's success because of his lack of an NBA Finals ring. 48. Dennis Rodman. Career averages: 7.3 points, 13.1 rebounds, 1.8 assists. All-NBA. 2 times third team. All-Star. 2 times. 5 championships. Dennis Rodman was by no means a superstar, but it is obvious that his style of play directly contributed to winning. One of the greatest defenders ever and definitely the greatest rebounder ever, Rodman was a role player that made life a lot easier on his teammates. It led to 5 championships as the ultimate dirty work player. Rodman wasn't the guy you wanted taking the last shot, but he has enough accolades and was a great enough specialist to warrant being on the list of the best NBA players ever. 49. Paul Pierce. Career averages: 19.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, 3.5 assists. All-NBA. 1 time second team, 3 times third team. All-Star. 10 times. 1 championship. It took years before anyone was worthy of becoming a Boston Celtics legend after Larry Bird retired. That was until Paul Pierce landed in their laps as the 10th pick in the 1998 NBA draft. Pierce could score inside and out and was a fantastic defender as well. How good was the 6'7" swingman? If I were to create an all-time great Celtics team, I would put him at the small forward spot right alongside Bob Cousy at the point, John Havlicek at shooting guard, slide Larry Bird at the power forward position, and then Bill Russell at center. His 2008 NBA Finals MVP trophy showed everyone that Pierce is definitely the truth. 50. Paul Arizin. Career averages: 22.8 points, 8.6 rebounds, 2.3 assists. All-NBA, 3 times first team, 1 time second team. All-Star, 10 times, 1 championship. Upon entering the NBA in 1950, Paul Arizin made the jump shot his signature move. It was an unusual skill set for the time, but one that allowed Arizin to get a leg up on his peers. Today, the jump shot is a vital attribute, and the most important part of basketball, and everyone can thank Arizin for that. With this new weapon in his arsenal, he led the league in scoring twice, 1951-52, 1956-57. The 10-time All-Star would eventually deliver a championship to the Philadelphia Warriors in 1956. Arizin was one of the greats in the early days of the NBA.